Hi, welcome to Life and Living at the Jersey Shore. I'm Tom Smith with the Tom Smith Group, and we are affiliated with Mary Ellen Realty in Ship Bottom, New Jersey.
Today, we'd like to welcome Nadine Feldman from Greentree Mortgage in Harbor Township.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having
So there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to obtaining a mortgage.
Right.
You're here to talk to us about it.
Yes, I am.
All right, application process.
Yes.
That was an inside joke. We had a good time when you weren't looking. The application process, from the process when the process to get a loan, to apply for a loan.
Yeah, so I've written a offer contract for my client, and it's already through attorney review, and it's a binding contract. Now I give it to you. What happens?
Now, since I've already pre-qualified your client, I already got the documents that I needed up front. So now what I do is I request what we call the mortgage disclosures. It's the application. So the key is we actually have a compliance officer that gets them to us. It's not like back in the day when I pulled it out of my trunk and hand wrote it.
Yeah.
So I requested it.
Wasn't that a 1004?
It's the 1003 actually.
1003, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was a 10 something.
Yeah, there is a 1004 URL, but
yeah. All right.
So the key is I request them, and at that time I will talk to the client to make sure, hey, can we meet? I prefer face-to-face, especially for first-time home buyers. All right, no online.
I have a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. And then this way, we order the appraisal once your home inspection is good. I will take the mortgage application prior to your home inspection because I need the time to get it into processing.
Yeah.
Which processing, think of it as verifications. They're the ones just verifying all my documents are legit.
Right. And legit also includes, one of the documents is to get a verification of employment.
That's correct.
So it could slow the process if your employer, if the client's employer slows down and says, my boss is on vacation for 2 weeks and we can't get that out. Well, that holds the whole process.
I've had that happen, actually. Yeah, so that's the key. So once we get all the verifications in and the appraisal, then that's when we I call it, we start rocking and rolling.
Yep.
Because now everything's put together nice, goes to the underwriter. The underwriter is God.
Final decision maker.
They're the ones that make the decision, and
they review everything.
They review everything that my processor, who helps me put the file together, and the underwriter issues the commitment. Commitment says we are committed to giving Mr.
That's the promise.
Smith a loan.
That's the promise of the bank.
The promise
to give
from
you
the
the
bank.
money. You got the dough. Now go ahead and tell your lawyer to get the closing set.
Exactly.
You guys are doing a lot of work that the clients don't have to do.
It is.
And I'm interrupting because we didn't talk about this.
That's okay.
Where's your 10 commandments?
My 10 commandments. I love my 10 commandments.
You have 10 commandments?
Yes.
I think it ties into what we're talking about.
Yes.
We'll put it up for you.
You want to get the 10 commandments up.
Let's get the 10 commandments. And we're going to put them up, but Nadine's going to talk about it.
Every time I do a loan application, I like to explain the 10 commandments.
10 commandments by Nadine.
The key is there are things that buyers do that can totally mess up getting a home loan. Just because you got a mortgage commitment, believe it or not, if you do one of these things, you just jeopardize closing on your home. Thou shalt not change jobs, become self-employed, or quit your job.
Had that happen?
Yes. Thou shalt not buy a car, truck, or van. You may be living in it.
Had that happen? I haven't lived in a car specifically, but
you
I've had clients that bought a car and blew the loan.
Thou shalt not use your credit cards excessively or let your accounts fall behind. They don't pull credit, but we do get something called a credit refresh. So we do see what you're doing. Thou shalt not spend the money you have set aside for closing. You cannot close if you're short. Thou shalt not omit debts.
That's you, Donna.
Thou shalt not omit debts or liabilities from your loan application. What that means is you have to tell your loan officer, and hopefully that's me, everything.
It'll get found out.
It's going to get
They
found out.
find out everything, and it makes me look bad if they find it out and you didn't tell me. Thou shalt not buy furniture. This is something happens a lot.
Oh, Mary and Ernie.
They offered 0% financing. I had to take it. I've had a few people where it was very sketchy if I was going to be able to get them to the table. We didn't.
Don't go to Value City the day before the closing and crank up $10,000 worth of debt.
Exactly.
Because you jeopardize your loan.
Thou shalt not originate any inquiries into your credit, which just means don't apply for any loans. Don't apply for credit cards.
Or furniture.
Or furniture, or cars, not even student loans. Thou shalt not make large deposits without first checking with your loan officer.
And why?
Because
it doesn't make sense. If my grandmother wants to give me 50 grand, why can't I just throw it in the bank?
Because you can't prove where the money came from.
Right.
Everything is a money trail. It's a paper trail.
Right.
It's not that, I think you're doing anything illegal. But the problem is, if we can't source the money, we can't use it.
And that's since 2008, since Dodd-Frank.
Yes.
Dodd-Frank is the federal law that changed how mortgages are put together. It's important because it went so far, we had one, that the father was giving the son money, $7,000 as a gift.
Cash?
And the underwriter wanted to know where the father got the money.
Yes.
That's how deep they go. We're talking about this because it's happening all the time. 10 Commandments are totally true.
Yes. And I tell when people call me, I say, where's your money? Well, it's in the safe. It's under the mattress. Well, guess what? Get it in the bank and call me in 3 months.
Right. It has to age and it has to source.
It has
our in-house term is source the money. Where did it come from? And not just my father gave it to me.
Right.
Where'd your father get it?
Right. And if Dad wants to give the gift, that's fine.
Right.
But it has to be a check, and we do need to see Dad's bank account.
Right. So
I'd like a gift.
Would you like a gift?
I would too.
There you go. Share it with your friends.
What's our next commandment?
Thou shalt not change banks. All right, don't pull all your money out of one and.
Because it just had the appearance of
inappropriate. So wait until I get you closed. And then the last one, of course, is thou shalt not co-sign a loan for anyone. I understand your boyfriend, your mother, your son, my case, my children, of course. They need a co-signer. Wait until after, because believe it or not, even if you're not paying that debt, we have to count it against you.
You could do all these things after.
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 Once you hear those words clear to close.
This is how we get through the process, the application process, which I did interrupt and bring in, which I know not to. But I just thought that, you're talking about application process. This is what we're explaining. This is key.
Yeah.
This is more important than you asking for a W-2. I mean, you've got to have the W-2. That's logical. Some of this stuff is like, oh, can't do that?
Exactly.
So this is more important to know from us. And we're going to be putting this on the Seller Tom website because it's so important. But that's the 10 Commandments. So the process, we got through the appraisal, we got through the home inspection, and you got your commitment, which is the promise of the bank.
Promise from the bank with a couple conditions. There's always conditions.
Yeah.
Mostly, the biggest one is, of course, homeowners, because I don't make the clients actually get the homeowners
insurance.
prior to
it's got to be
homeowners
paid
insurance.
receipt, has to be up front.
Or an invoice.
An
invoice, we'll pay it at the table.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, some banks won't let you do it, but we're good like that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the process. So then you issue the commitment, and then there's a new term, the CTC, which is clear to close.
Clear to close.
Because there are those commitment stipulations, and once they're done, like homeowners insurance, I know one standard commitment stipulation is always that they want a typed application, which we may have done one on the trunk of the car like you used to do in the old days, and then they would say, well, the condition is we want a nice, clean, typed one signed. So that's a condition. But clear to close is the magic words realtors want to hear, because then we start spending our commission check.
Exactly. As well as us.
As well as you.
Okay.
That's when our attorneys and title companies set up the closing. Everybody comes together and we all have a beautiful ceremony.
And I come to all my closings.
Nadine has been to every single.
The best part of my job is seeing the faces, especially of a first-time home buyer.
Yeah, they're the best. They get the keys, they get all
the
smiling.
keys, I get pictures.
All right, so that's good. We now know the process of the loan from the start of binding contract.
Yep.
Which then we take from it. Before that, that's us. So, terrific. Thank you. Thank you, Nadine. That was fun. We enjoyed ourselves. You're all right. You know that? We'll have you back again.
Yes, anytime.
I think everybody knows a little bit more about mortgage.
Right.
I hope so, and if they don't, they can always give me a call.
We're going to have them reach out. If you want to talk to Nadine about anything in the mortgage world, feel free to give her a call. It's Greentree Mortgage. What's the best way to reach you?
My cell phone.
Cell phone 609-226-3491. You can get her there anytime, and it's nfeldman@greentreemortgage.com. So that's an email address. But give her a call or reach out to us. We'll hook you up with her in 2 seconds. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks.